Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to introduce the PlayStation 4.
For the first time, let me now unveil Xbox.
Our next generation portable is officially named PlayStation Vita.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Xbox One.
Well, the wait is over. This is Nintendo DS.
So today, welcome to the world of Wii U.
Welcome to episode 18 of the 411, folks. My name is Scott. My co-host is Jake. We are back and we are ready to talk more games.
I realised I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday, so it's like I never left.
That's not good. Do you smell?
I don't know, do I?
I kind of got a blocked nose. I don't really know.
Awesome. Great.
You know what, actually, because it's really cold right now, I actually slept in the clothes I had to wear today last night. So when I wake up, I don't have to... My clothes are already warm.
That's a good technique, yeah.
Yeah. Have you done it before?
No, but well, I mean, for the first kind of few hours this morning, I just stayed in my track pants, which I slept in, so...
That's not the same. You didn't wear them today, did you?
Well, no, like I woke up, and then I didn't change from my track pants until a few hours later. So that kind of counts.
Yeah, but did you go to work in them or anything?
Well,
See,
no.
I slept in the clothes I went to work in, so...
That's a little bit gross as well.
Not really. It's at least I don't have to take clothes off in the morning and get cold.
All right.
Yeah. So this is part 2 of our E3 talk. Probably our last E3 show for this year.
Yeah.
So this episode we're going to be talking about Sony conference and the Nintendo Treehouse. We're going to go through all the games mentioned in the conference in the Treehouse.
So it was this time last week as well that...
Treehouse was on. It was Wednesday.
No, wasn't it? Oh, so it was Tuesday. Oh,
Tuesday
yes.
for Sony, yeah, and Microsoft.
Wasn't it at Thursday? Oh, okay, I can't keep track
Come
of it.
on, Jake.
Still, whatever. But yeah, so we're we're at the end of it now, so we can finally talk about it.
Yeah. Actually, another thing I need to do is update my list of most anticipated games of 2016 as well.
Again? Oh, didn't we already do that again?
We haven't done it. We remember we revisited it last time, and 3 of my games have been moved to 2017.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think during E3, one of them was moved as well. Another one was moved as well. So I only have one game left, which is Dragon Quest VII.
What got moved?
I'm just having a look now. Here we go. The other one that got moved was Ukulele.
Oh, yeah.
So Ukulele, Don Bradman, Mass Effect, Hitman, all moved to 2007. So the other one on my list for 2016, most anticipated, is Dragon Quest VII.
And you would think that would be the one to get delayed as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, true.
But,
yeah, I don't know if I should update that anyway. There's no point in doing that kind of list at the start of the year. Is there?
No, we did that so long ago. Yeah.
We did it in February. It's just ridiculous. All right, well let's get straight into it.
Go for it.
Sony, what'd you think?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Because I watched it straight after Microsoft, and oh man, I thought Microsoft did a good job, but then Sony just trailer after trailer, hardly any talking at all. Yeah. It was just gameplay trailer, like they just didn't stop.
Yeah, I kind of
and they were all really short as well.
I kind of like how you can see the trends kicking on of Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
How it was just trailer after trailer after trailer. Maybe that's kind of seeping into to these people. That's why I found Microsoft a little bit boring, because
there's quite a bit of talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why would they even is there even a need for a press conference if they're just going to do trailer after trailer? Why not just do something like a Nintendo Direct? Just put a video up there.
Exactly.
Of trailer after trailer.
I prefer that. Nothing.
Not many people came out and talked. So do you need this huge stage for that and everything?
Well,
the cool thing was the orchestra.
Yes, I was just about to say. Yeah, that's one thing you can't get with a direct to internet video. But
and my God, they played the entire show.
Yeah, it was cool. Hey.
All the gameplay music and everything they played. It was
great.
Crazy.
Yeah, and the conductor looked like a magician.
Yeah.
It was crazy. May have been.
So to start off the show, they showed God of War, and this is something that we actually predicted.
So
They begin with God of War.
yeah, so again, like Bethesda the day before, I tuned in maybe 2 minutes late.
Well, the first 2 minutes was just playing the orchestral song from the new God of War.
Oh, okay. So I didn't miss much.
Well, probably 3 minutes actually.
All right.
It went on a bit, to be honest.
So because I did come in about halfway through the God of War demo, so I thought I had missed something, but
Yeah.
cool. But both you and I, we've never played a God of War game.
No,
so
it's never looked interesting to me at all.
I mean, I could. Yeah.
This one looks a bit interesting. It looks like it's actually got a bit of story. All the others just look like some mindless action. A bit like Gears, you know? And this one actually looks like, it has some interesting story. It looks like this, what's his name, Kratos? He looks like he plays a bit of a father role in this. And
Yeah, so around E3, of course, when people see E3 trailers like this, there's obviously theories and rumors. So one rumor or theory, I should say, I did read was that this is rather because they never said if it was a sequel. Or have they said it was a sequel?
I don't know.
Don't know. But
Because it didn't say God of War 4.
just
It
a God of War,
yeah.
hey. So this may be redundant by now without me further reading, but one theory I did read was that this is actually going to be a prequel, and the child is actually Kratos,
Oh, really?
and the other guy is Kratos' father, because in the demo it was displayed as that when animals or enemies or bosses were getting killed, it was the child who was getting the experience points, rather than
Yeah.
even though you were playing as the father.
That sort of just tells me that eventually maybe this guy, Kratos, or the father, whoever it is, might die further into the game, and then you play as the kid. You know, whether it is Kratos, it could be Kratos and he dies because it is God of War 4. That's the end of Kratos, and then this kid is the sort of successor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
could go both ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I do think it's a little bit confusing. I know that they're trying to reboot, and this is the same with Bethesda stuff as well. When they try and reboot franchises, they just put the title like God of War or Prey.
Yeah.
But there are already games called Prey and God of War.
It's confusing.
It is a bit confusing. So at least just put like a subtitle under it,
Yeah.
or put a number next to it or something. Other than that, yeah, it looks all right, I guess. I think it's what fans wanted. I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a sort of a side note on the titles of games with who don't actually have sort of direct sequel titles. Do you find it annoying when you're sort of trying to type into Google or something about a game and you want to try and find the original game, but like say something like Assassin's Creed, if you want to try find something about Assassin's Creed, the original game, whenever you type something in, it comes up with all the other games.
I would put one in.
Oh, you would do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find that annoying sometimes, and
Well,
sometimes I put the original Assassin's Creed, or the original whatever I'm trying to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be the problem now with 2 God of Wars.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah, and Prey.
Yeah.
Well, Prey's early days though. We don't know if they might add a sort of a subheading to that. So
Sure.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. They showed a trailer straight after God of War of Days Gone. It was just a short trailer, but they actually ended with this game as well. So I suppose we can talk about this game now.
Okay, another rumor I also heard. This could have been disregarded again, but apparently...
I'll disregard it before you even say it.
All right, great. Apparently, yeah, they were just going to show this trailer for Days Gone.
Yeah.
And not show anything else. But apparently they were going to show a Red Dead Redemption sequel at the very end, but something happened, so they just had to chuck something in, and they did Days Gone demo.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. That's just what I read. So
Where'd you read this? Like, this is anyone could say that.
exactly. So,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right.
But either
Just giving us all the information, the 411.
yeah. You're the ones who have to look it up.
Yeah.
I just tell you about it.
All right. Okay, that's interesting. It was a little weird how they did show Days Gone gameplay at the end when they could have just done it at the start.
I mean, that's why. Yeah.
But I do think they were sticking to this thing where they just go trailer after trailer very, very fast at the very start. So it did work for them at there. But then again, just leave the Days Gone trailer out and put it at the end and then show gameplay, you know? That's all you had to do. So it was a little strange. But what'd you think?
Well, the first trailer they played was just some boring white guy.
Yeah, I know.
on a
I wasn't a
motorbike.
fan of the trailer as well.
And he was talking like, I miss it so much.
Yeah,
and, it looked awful.
It didn't look awful. Like, it was interesting, but it's just like, yeah, another one of these games, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, it just looked nothing different. And sad to say as well, when they eventually got to the gameplay, just nothing new there for me.
Well, the things that I saw that were really interesting, I don't think would be realistic gameplay. Okay, so the things that were actually really cool were, you know, how he's shooting all those zombies, where they're just sort of piling out, and you're just shooting them down one by one and everything, and then you can move on. Well, the first thing is, it seemed like he had unlimited ammo.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I read, that could just be like a cheat.
Yeah, or
for the demo.
for the demo,
Yeah.
for demo purposes. Another thing is, do you really think that it's going to happen in the game where you are going to be turning around and shooting them all? Or is the game sort of going to make you just run away, you know? Do you really think you'd stand there and turn around, shoot some, then run? I mean, wouldn't you just run?
I know it did seem a bit odd, and when he was turning around, he was waiting sometimes until they got really close.
Yeah.
And then he would start shooting,
And the demos made it seem like this game was very linear. Like there was a path that he was supposed to follow. Like, who realistically follows that path that guy took? You're just leading yourself into a dead end like he actually did. You would just run away, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, does this make it seem like it's not open world, do you? Like that the way that demo showed it, really. I mean, it looked like that space was just your area and you had to get rid of those zombies somehow. You know?
Yeah. I mean, clear comparisons of this game, people have been talking about, it's like The Last of Us.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same as State of Decay as well. These three are all similar in a way.
Oh no, I can see a clear difference with State of Decay, because the first one was really... sure, there was a story to it, but it was more gameplay focused. It was more of like a management simulator, I suppose, in a zombie universe. Whereas The Last of Us is just a story in a zombie universe. But Days Gone, like, I don't know, because it cut to that thing where like he came across that other guy and he like tackled him to the ground.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there.
He probably just, I don't know, stole his stash. I don't know.
I don't know about this one. It just fell a bit flat.
I think it looks cool, but it's something that I don't think I'll pick up just because there's so many of these games out there.
So many zombies.
Yeah.
And there's more zombies to come.
Yeah. Okay, so straight after Days Gone, the trailer, they showed The Last Guardian.
Oh, yeah.
And that was just another short trailer. I was surprised not to see any sort of big gameplay reveal. Were you?
I think they played it right, actually.
Yeah. Were you just happy to see it was there? They gave a release date, October 26th.
Yeah, I think if they... Because the last year's conference is when they opened the conference up with it and gave it all the hype it needed. And then if they went overboard this year again with a big reveal or someone else coming out and talking about it, I think that would have just gone a little bit overboard. So I think it was cool how they played it cool, this year.
So last year when they showed the gameplay reveal, it looked cool and everything, but it was nothing too... I mean, it looked cool because we both agree that the game looks very different, sort of unlike anything you really ever played before. And then the trailer that they showed, the graphics sort of look very similar. They haven't really sort of updated anything like that. Do you think it sort of looks like an indie game, like a very, very small indie game?
I don't think it's made by a big team, is it? A big development team or something?
But I mean, the amount of time it's been taken them to make it.
True. That doesn't overgo with quality, quality of the game, just because it's simple graphics or...
But I mean, how long does it take a game to make? How long does it take to make a game that lasts for like 5-6 hours? I mean, do you think?
Oh, I don't think this will be 5-6 hours.
How long?
Well, I don't know. It's a sequel to what? What's that game called?
The Last.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, wow, I can't even remember now.
It just to me looks like, you know how they showcased a bunch of those indie games in the Microsoft press conference?
Okay.
It just looks like one of those games,
Okay.
to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what it's like. Okay, after that, Horizon Zero Dawn. Okay, so this was the first game where they sort of spent a bit of time showing some gameplay.
Yeah, actually, it's a good time to bring this up because I came across this thought last night when I was doing a bit more research that there was very few, or if not no, games newly announced games at this year's E3 with women as a lead character. It was all whatever games they showed with women in it had already been announced prior,
Yeah.
like Horizon Zero Dawn. Last year they announced.
Is
Tomb
Last
Raider.
Guardian a woman?
Yeah, I don't know actually. Seems like a boy to me.
Is Kratos a woman?
Yeah, it's the beard, give it away. Either way, there were or if there were women, it was you could choose between a man and a woman
Oh, okay.
playable character. So there was very little diversity, and how we keep saying
We've got two black guys though.
There's black guys, yeah. There's diversity in that kind of sense, but that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's just how last year apparently they took a big step forward in women lead roles, and now they're kind of, we've already brought up how many times there's been a white guy just mowing guys down with a gun.
Yeah, yeah.
How boring is that? I don't know.
I suppose. Do you want to be a woman mowing guys down with a gun?
I mean, it doesn't really bother me personally, but it's just odd to see, I think.
So, I mean, what's a game where you've had a choice of gender option where you've actually chosen a girl? Have you ever done that? Have you ever chosen a girl?
Good question.
In Pokemon X, I chose a girl.
Did ya?
Yeah.
Yeah. Typically in RPGs, I like to choose a guy.
I always start off choosing a guy just because I like to, if it's an RPG, because I sort of, take on that character as me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so.
Yeah, I have to get back into you on that one. Good question.
Yeah, so after Horizon, do you have anything to say about
Horizon? I don't know. It looked cool last year.
But not this year.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, it just...
Did they show gameplay last year or just a trailer?
No, it was gameplay last year as well. It just doesn't look... It looks great. It looks amazing, and the world and the story looks awesome. But I think the kind of gameplay just isn't for me.
Yeah, neither. I wasn't wowed by it. I was just like, another one of these open world games.
Yeah.
It's a bit different with its sort of all machinery, but they've got these sort of Stone Age qualities to their villages or whatever. But it's just like,
I mean, that's the most fascinating thing to me.
yeah, and but that's it really. Other than that, it's just another open world action game. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, then they showed Detroit Become Human.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this was the makers of Heavy Rain and what's the other one?
Beyond, is it called?
Yeah, Beyond, something like that. And yeah, this looks awesome.
It looks really cool, hey?
So yeah, this game sort of makes me want a PlayStation.
Yeah, right.
So,
Even I've always wanted... You've played Heavy Rain, haven't you?
yeah.
I've always wanted to play those games as well. So...
Depressing, Heavy Rain.
Yeah?
Doesn't put you in a good mood.
So I've heard. But I don't know. It's always something I've wanted to experience myself. And...
I don't know how interested I would stay playing as an android or a robot kind of thing.
I think...
it's just...
Isn't it... From what I heard, isn't the androids... Aren't the humans the bad people in this world?
Yeah. But still, you're an android. I don't know.
Oh, it's not like they're emotionless.
Yeah.
Right?
I suppose. I mean, have you seen Dragon Ball Z?
I don't think they're going to be Android 16. Okay.
Come on.
But no, and typically the way they showed this trailer as well, how the game works, how so many branching paths just from one situation in the game. Sure, that looks like a real flagship moment in the game.
Or it could not be. It could be just the opening bit of the game.
Sure,
Yeah.
but
hopefully it is, because...
yeah, but the way they pulled out and how it's got that tree branching thing, it explained it really well, and it just... I wanted.
Yeah, it was a really good demo, or a really good trailer to explain what this game is, and because if there's lots of people out there who have never played a game like Heavy Rain or the Beyond game. You know, lots of people who have no idea what this kind of thing is, and yeah, it was a really good way of explaining it for those people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like already so far in this E3 demo, E3 conference, I want a PlayStation.
Yeah.
They've sold me on buying a PlayStation. Whether or not I don't know. What did they say when Detroit's coming out? Is that next year?
I think so. I didn't write it down. Yeah. If I didn't write it down, usually it's because they didn't say it, or it might be because I was fucking lazy. Okay, so the next game they revealed was some horror game. It started off, right? And immediately I was like, damn, I'm so jealous. I want a PlayStation 4 just because this horror game looks amazing. And then big reveal, it was Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I had no idea until it showed me the title. Even when it came up with that 7, I still had no idea until it said Resident Evil. I was like, what? Because this does not look like Resident Evil.
No.
I mean, first of all, it's in first person.
Yeah.
Which is the way horror should be, because it's with your eyes.
Yeah.
It's so scary. Like, it looks so scary.
So when it was going, and when the trailer first started, it was like going down hallways and stuff. I thought it was that PT. Remember PT?
No.
It was that prequel to Silent Hills that came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's what PT is. You're just going in a hallway, looping kind of thing. And I thought, oh man, they're going to bring it back or something, or it's going to be Silent Hills. And the whole way through, I thought it was PT something, until, like you said, Resident Evil, and that was a huge surprise.
Well, during this entire E3, there were, I think there were 4 times where I said yes out loud, or whoa, or something like that, you know. And this was the second time. Remember, the first time was Skyrim. This time was this Resident Evil 7. Like this.
So there's 2 to come, is there?
There is 2 to come.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game looks amazing. Like, and I was even more happy because I know this is coming to Xbox One, because it's a Resident Evil game.
Well, I guess like in terms of why it was at PlayStation was because it can be played fully in VR, PlayStation VR, which nope, do not want.
I would never do that. Like, as much as I would, that would be an amazing experience. I could never do it.
No way.
So they showed a trailer, but that's all they showed, right? But then later on, what came up on YouTube is quite a lot of gameplay, because there's a demo out.
Yeah.
So the pretty much the first hour of the game.
Well, no, it probably just lasts 15 minutes.
Yeah,
to be honest.
That's I watched.
Yeah.
It pretty much lasted that as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they call it the beginning hour. But
yeah, I don't know.
Well, it could take an hour,
in
like
the span of the game time, I suppose.
Or it could take you an hour maybe if you. I don't know, go around and do other things.
Well, that's it, because I've watched 3 different people play it,
Yeah.
and there've been 3 different experiences.
Yeah.
They've found different things, and there's actually, I've seen 2 different endings. Apparently, there's more. So it's just something you just have to dig around and.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad you actually have watched it. I was going to ask if you'd watched it, but yeah, I'm glad you saw. Like, what do you think of the actual gameplay?
It's so scary.
Yeah,
God.
It's crazy because it really doesn't give you much light as well. It like this tiny sort of little circle torch kind of thing where you're walking around. It's dead silent, which makes you can hear the slightest movement or anything.
Did you watch with headphones on?
I didn't watch it with headphones, but I could imagine. Like,
yeah.
The slightest movement, like, or the slightest sound you could hear, you immediately turn or spin around to see what it was.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could see a shadow or something that was moving. How cool was it when you put on that videotape
and you're the
camera guy,
that is
and
really
then you're
good.
controlling what the camera is shooting? I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's clever. That's really cool.
The only thing is, I kind of wish that the game sort of started off like that, rather than you putting in a videotape. Like, I kind of wish you were just the camera guy. Like, that's how you started, and then you going into the house. It's like that.
I guess that's what the demo's for then.
Yeah, true. People can give feedback on what they want or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, I was scared the whole way through.
I was on the edge of my seat. Like, it was so like enthralling.
Yeah,
to watch.
and then the very last bit, I hope you know what I'm. No,
I've only seen one ending, so.
Okay, well, not the very last bit, but when it cuts. I don't want to say it was spoilers, but when you finally encounter it, I suppose you would say,
Yeah, yeah.
out of nowhere, like out of dead silence, and then something comes up. Yeah, that was.
Well, the ending that I saw is you saw an actual door that leads outside. You open the door and it's actually nice and sunny outside, and then you get brought back in by that.
Okay, yeah, that's what that was. I was afraid to mention.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that part where he grabs you. Was,
Yeah.
I was so that gave me such a fright.
Yeah, it was crazy. Man, I hope, because there's Resident Evil movies. I hope there's a sort of a film that comes out similar to this. Hey?
I hope not, actually. Didn't we have this discussion a couple of weeks ago about how just film movies just... I don't know. I feel like horror movies... I feel like horror experiences like this, like what you just saw, can only translate well in a video game kind of thing. Because there's so much tension building. Like in a movie, you wouldn't spend 15 minutes...
Yeah, walking around,
peeking around.
True, but I mean, it should be. We sat there for 15 minutes watching it. We weren't playing it. We were watching.
I'd rather watch, actually.
Yeah. But so the title is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. In Japan, it's just called Biohazard. I'd prefer just Biohazard, to be honest.
Well, no, the whole reason. Because the game was originally called Biohazard from the very beginning. The reason they had to recall it Resident Evil for Western audiences was like a trademark copyright or something.
Yeah.
So it is pretty cool how they're still giving, because it's the 30 years of 20 years or 30 years.
I don't know, something like that.
It's an anniversary of Resident Evil, and it's cool that they're giving a little.
Yeah. We knew something was coming up. I mean, they were re-releasing all the Resident Evil games for the newer consoles, so.
And this just makes it's giving me, now that this new game looks so good and it's coming in pretty close to the start of next year.
Yeah.
It's giving me fuel to actually want to go back and play the old games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I was thinking about that, but then to me, this game seems like nothing like any other Resident Evil you've played, because this is first person. And like even the one horror game I actually own on the Xbox One is Evil Within. I actually really want to play a horror game that's first person. This has made me just want to play this game so badly. Like,
well, I mean, you can, like me, like I've gone back and watched gameplays of Amnesia and PT and what's something that recently in first person? It's lost my mind.
Is Outlast first person?
Outlast is first. Well, that's through a perspective of a video camera.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So again, first person. So yeah, you can see how I like this new trend of horror games, because, like you said, it's through your eyes, and that's the most terrifying.
Do you think the entire video game will take place in this one house?
No, it can't be, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind if it did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like the original took place in just one mansion, wasn't it?
That's true, actually.
So
yeah,
you could flesh it out.
I guess.
There could be, dungeons in this house,
Yeah, already there was like secret passages.
Yeah, secret passages, You don't know how big the house is. It could be massive. It's cool because the original took place in a mansion and it looks very fancy. This place could be a mansion, but it's very run down. It's very old.
It's funny how every game they're going, how the original story of Resident Evil was the T-virus broke out, and that's how people turned into zombies. It's just weird how they're going to try and continue that story now.
Well, this seems like a prequel, because this whole T-virus thing, right? These guys who are filming, this film crew, were not scared at all. They thought this was a big joke. Like, they're walking through this house, like they've got no idea.
Yeah,
so,
you're right. Yeah.
This seems like nothing like this has ever happened before. Like, this could be, prequel, I guess. So
that's interesting. Yeah.
So, all right, we'll move on.
I guess you can kind of tell what our game of the.
Well, it's definitely mine. So.
Yeah.
So next they stopped with the games for a while, and then they came out with a release date for VR. I think some guy came out and talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the first sort of talking point after 6 games, 6 trailers. So pretty cool. October 13th for VR. So pretty soon. And what was like $400 or something American?
Yeah, sounds. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we're missing out, hey?
Not having
Because
VR.
we don't have PlayStation. Do you feel like that?
Well, there are a few games actually still to come.
Yeah,
Where absolutely we're missing out.
Yeah.
So.
I love how they call them. Whenever like they mentioned a VR game, they didn't call it a game. They called it an experience.
Well, yeah. That kind of shows that that they're not full games then, right? They're not.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you wouldn't want to spend that amount of time in VR, would you? You wouldn't.
Apparently, it makes some people quite sick. Quite feels like the same feeling as getting car sick if you spend too long on it. So
Yeah. Well,
I mean that might be because you're spinning your head around so much and everything. So
yeah.
So after that, they showed us some gameplay from a game called Farpoint. So this is sort of this sci-fi space shooter.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, it looked alright.
Yeah.
Not very memorable. I've actually put some asterisks next to the games that I had to go back and watch some gameplay of, and this was one of them because it was a bit forgetful.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There was only a few of them, so but.
This is one of the games that you can play with or without VR, but it doesn't affect the experience.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Much like Resident Evil,
We'll move on to the first VR experience that they showed was the Star Wars X-Wing VR mission.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool because it's not a game, and I appreciate that they're not spending so much time trying to make this thing into a full game. It's just one mission and it's just an experience. So they probably spent a lot of time just making this one experience, and because it's only this one thing, it's probably really good because it's not big,
And it's the first time in Battlefront that you'll get to fly around in space.
Yeah.
You can't do
true.
that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We've never had an experience like, especially in Star Wars. That would be.
I mean, you got the Star Trek, but
Gosh.
yeah, this just blew that Star Trek thing right out of the gate. Hey?
Yeah.
No one's gonna buy that after they heard this. Next thing was Batman VR, October 2018.
Well, yeah. Well, they barely showed. This was like a nothing trailer.
Well, I think this is like an experience as well. Like it's not gonna be like this full game thing.
No, and from what it was playable at E3.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like a snippet of it.
I heard people speak about how people who played it. These people spoke about it, and the whole intro to the game is you putting on your bat suit and everything and choosing your thing.
Cool.
You literally sort of feel like you're sort of wearing. Oh, I think you're watching. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
it's immersive. I think it's Do you know the ride at Movie World? How you're in the bat. That virtual thing. How you're in the seat, and it moves the seat, and you feel like you're on that Batman ride.
That's not there anymore. Right?
Yeah. I know. Do you remember the feeling you got as a kid, like sitting on that, and you felt like you were in that vehicle?
Yeah.
I reckon that's the feeling that people are going to get when they first put on this thing. For Batman.
That'd be alright. Yeah.
Because apparently that they didn't muck around with this Batman game. Like it's full on.
Yeah. Well, interesting thing, it's made by Rocksteady, the people who make
Yeah.
the Batman Arkham games.
Yeah.
So, because I always thought that Batman Arkham Knight, which was released last year, would be their final Batman thing.
Mm.
So, I guess they kept busy with this, but I'd kind of hope they'd be already starting to move on to their next project. Maybe they have. Maybe
They just love Batman.
Oh well, yeah, I guess so.
What would you want them to do next? Like, would you want them to just make a new IP and not focus on something that's already been made, like a new superhero or something?
Yeah, move away from superheroes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You could
Create your own.
Yeah, there are still some DC heroes that would be pretty cool to do with, but yeah, do your own thing.
So then Final Fantasy 15 trailer and VR experience for Final Fantasy 15 was released. I don't actually remember what this trailer was of, because we had already seen quite a lot of Final Fantasy 15 already. Was this... I think... I wrote down trailer, so I think it was just a trailer.
It was a trailer. It was a trailer, and they had some electronic musician do the music to it, because it came up Final Fantasy Cross and his name. I remember it was a pretty short trailer. Nothing, whatever.
Yeah.
It was pretty burnt. I think, to be honest, I'm pretty burnt out on it now.
Are you gonna get this game? Like,
I thought I was sold on it. Like I said yesterday, I thought I was sold on it, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know either.
and after what we're going to talk about in the VR thing, like I don't know.
So after that, they showed a game which I had no idea what it was until they revealed the name again. And this was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Oh, yeah, same.
Same, yeah. So they started off, and it was some space shooter kind of thing. Like, you could see they were in a spaceship, and it was a futuristic shooter. They hadn't started shooting yet, but they were just preparing or whatever, and then this guy was going to get in his ship or whatever. And I thought, well, this is a new game that I haven't seen before. And it kind of looked a bit boring because it was just a guy running around with a gun, and like, we've seen this before. But then he gets in his ship, and he shoots out of it. And it's the fastest space fighting I've ever seen. Like, how fast was that combat?
It looked awesome,
Like,
mate.
it was just crazy. Like, you flew so fast, and it looked like you were going to hit into things, but you just got out of the way and everything. It was incredibly fast. And I was like, what is this game? And it's Call of Duty. I'm like, this is the first time I've been excited for Call of Duty.
I kind of realized it was Call of Duty after they landed the ship and then started like actual gun firing.
Yeah.
Because I could what gave it away to me was all the font kind of thing. And
Oh, okay, yeah.
writing. And I was like, all right, it's probably Call of
Call
Duty.
of Duty, yeah.
But yeah, before I had any idea what it was, yeah, the stuff in space just looked incredible.
Yeah. That's probably going to be the highlight of the game, that space fighting. Because again, we haven't had a game that has included that.
No, and it's odd that, again, like this is where everyone's complaints are coming, that it's odd that it's being tied to the Call of Duty name. But just get over it, hey.
Yeah. What, you'd rather it just be called Infinite Warfare or something, you know?
I mean, well, personally, I don't really care because I'm not as devoted to Call of Duty.
They don't have a mission like this, or they don't have combat like this in Battlefront, do they? I remember they do in Battlefront 2, like the original Battlefront games.
Combat like what?
Like space combat.
In Battlefront 2? Oh, Battlefront. Oh, Battlefront.
Battlefront.
Yeah.
Yes, Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars had space. Battlefront 2 had space battles.
But not the new Battlefront.
No, and that's why I said that the VR mission is the first time you'll get to fly.
Yeah. So after that, after Call of Duty, they had some Modern Warfare remastered gameplay. Was it gameplay or a trailer?
Can't remember.
Yeah. Again, it didn't click. I didn't realize this was Modern Warfare. I thought it was just another war game.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah.
I knew straight away because
Okay.
it followed.
Yeah, but again, this looked actually really cool. And during this, I was thinking, wow, you are getting a space fighter and just a normal Modern Warfare game. There's something for everyone. So
I'm happy.
it's really cool.
with it.
And I originally thought that you could only get this Modern Warfare remaster if you got Infinite Warfare,
That is the case, isn't it?
because on the Xbox Store you can get them individually.
Oh, no. Xbox Store is always weird like that because
You'll have to get the bundle.
it says bundle
It's-
only.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
why have two icons for it?
No
That pisses
idea,
me
yeah.
off.
Okay, so after that, Skylanders Imaginators,
Oh,
which is combined with this Crash Bandicoot.
No, see, okay, before you say that, because after the Call of Duty thing, he came out on stage and like Crash music was playing
and then that whole backdrop of Crash and everything.
yeah, and people were going nuts.
Yeah.
And he was like, Crash remaster, like Crash is coming back, but
Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3 remastered.
Yeah.
Announced, yeah.
and then he's like, well, before that, he's coming to Skylanders, and I thought, to me, like, I don't care because Crash Bandicoot, I don't care about Crash Bandicoot. But I think for like diehard fans who've been waiting for Crash Bandicoot, I think this is a big middle finger to them.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Like,
Yeah.
imagine people jumping off their seats when that guy was walking out to Crash.
Yeah.
Like, crazy, man. And then just, remaster of 1, 2, and 3. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because, instead of making a new Crash game, which could be a flop, you get the originals, which were, loved by so many. So you do get the originals. And then you get, Crash in Skylanders?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think we'll get too into Skylanders because we're both not really into it. But we don't really know much about it either. So
No, I've never played it.
no. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot remasters. I mean, I'm excited what they do to them
It's
because they're just very simple games, aren't they? It's like a temple run kind of thing. You're just running. You just got to jump at a perfect time or
I
something.
think that's what the first one is.
Okay.
But I think the next two are more
Better platformers.
more like Ratchet and Clank. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's they talked very little about it, so I think this is a very far away.
Yeah.
Away.
They didn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, we're getting towards the end of the conference now. 3 more games.
Oh, is what's next? Yeah.
Lego Star Wars
Oh yeah.
Force Awakens.
Yeah. It's cool. I'm
Did
gonna
they show gameplay?
No, I think it was another trailer.
Trailer, yeah. This is coming out soon. I didn't write a date down, but
I think it's next week, the 28th, I think.
Yeah. What console are you getting that on?
Wii U. But I'm
Is
decided.
it out on? It's out on 3DS, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm decided. Like I was just telling you before we went on the podcast that I've just done a big clean out of my room.
Mm.
I hate having so much stuff in my room. That included game boxes. So I will, like, more and more I've been buying games just digitally.
Mm.
I'm not entirely going to buy all my games digitally, but games like Lego Star Wars, because I don't care if I get the box or not. I'm just going to buy that digitally, you know?
You've got so many digital games on your 3DS.
Yeah. But
I actually went on your 3DS the other day. You weren't at home.
You what?
You weren't there, and I turned your 3DS on.
And what'd you do?
Just had a look.
How dare you?
Oh, I just wanted to see the big screen. I'm so jealous of the XL. So,
Please ask me this before you do that.
well,
I trust you. I trust you in my room.
I didn't do anything. I just turned it on and then turned it off.
When I'm not in there as well.
Anyway, so you got lots of digital games on there.
Yeah.
Downloaded games.
I do have a lot. So yeah, Lego Star Wars is one I'll just buy on the Wii U store. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
fair enough. Okay, two more games. Death Stranding.
This is cool. This is
This
another
is
cool
when
thing.
Hideo Kojima comes out and he's like, "I'm back."
Do you think his ego needed any more?
I have no idea. But this game, to me, when they show a trailer like this, it tells me that this game is so far off.
Yeah, because the whole thing with Kojima Konami was happening probably around this time last year. So I would.
Well, there was reports that he was sort of flying around the world 2-3 weeks ago, before E3, looking for an engine to do his game on. So he hasn't even got an engine yet.
True. Right.
So I really think this game hasn't barely even been started yet. But he comes out with this trailer, announces it, and yeah.
That being said, though, it was a pretty intriguing trailer.
Yeah, it's a cool trailer. But I'm always against these things being announced, and you know it's going to be like 3-4 years away.
I know.
I
know.
mean,
But,
look at
like-
Metal Gear Solid 5, look how long that took to make,
I don't know. When was that announced? That'd be like 2 years.
I think
2
more
year
than
build.
that. Yeah, but I think, not including the announcement, but it took a lot longer to make.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, again, I like the thing with the Resident Evil trailer. How I thought it was Silent Hills. When this trailer started, and then you saw Norman Reedus there.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, he's from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't think you knew.
No.
When I was watching the trailer, I'm like, Jake's not going to know who that is.
No, I only know it's Norman Reedus because he was originally going to be in Silent Hills,
Oh, right.
which was Hideo Kojima was working on.
Yeah.
So when I saw him there, I thought, man, it's Silent Hills again.
Yeah.
And then, no,
Silent Hill.
No, it was going to be named Silent Hills.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just it sounded weird when you were saying Silent Hills.
But yeah, like the trailer was every little bit to the trailer was weird.
Seemed like he was pregnant.
Yeah.
Then he lost his baby. And then,
And then,
yeah. But you know what? I seen it. What was the whole story with Hideo Kojima? Like, what he got axed or something? Like,
oh yeah, it's a whole big thing. But yeah, I guess in short, yeah, like they let him go and he couldn't keep
doing his game or something.
Yeah, they couldn't. He pretty like Konami owns Metal Gear, not Kojima.
Okay, because I heard someone speak about what this trailer actually means. They said that it might not have anything to do with the game, but he just put it up there as Norman Reedus is Hideo Kojima. His baby had been ripped away from him. And like those 5 things that he saw up there, those evil things, are like the corporate people and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's weird enough to do that, so...
And he's like, fully crying and everything, like holding his baby. He's like Silent Hills.
I mean, that too, and I saw someone took a screenshot of Norman Reedus put on Instagram like that day of a picture of Hideo Kojima like drinking out of a coffee mug that said Konami, and then the caption was like drinking Konami tears or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's a weirdo, but yeah, whatever this game is, I'm intrigued. So.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot what stranding is a word and it means something. It's something to do with the beached whale or something.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
Wasn't there some kind of beach whale on the
Yeah,
trailer?
yeah, and Death Stranding. It makes sense, but yeah, weird title though.
Yeah.
Well, weird video, really.
This and Prey was probably like my most favorite like cinematic trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was just so interested, so intrigued by it. Again, like you say, we can't see this game for ages.
No.
But I do like what's his new company called? Konami Productions or whatever.
I didn't pay attention.
Kojima Productions or whatever.
Yeah.
His logo is like the coolest thing ever.
Oh yeah.
Have a look at it.
Okay.
It's amazing.
All right. Yeah, so there's one more game on the list. The last game that they ended with was Days Gone, but we've already spoken about that. But the one game before that was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And this is by Insomniac.
Yeah.
Insomniac making a Spider-Man game, which is upsetting you, and I'm going to guess because you can't get it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Yeah.
I have to buy a PS4 now, don't I?
Well, yeah, for Spider-Man and... What's the other one?
No, not Resident Evil. You know, the other one.
What, you want VR, I guess, for Batman and Star Wars and...
No, I don't think I'll ever buy VR.
Detroit.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Again, like people were saying, the Spider-Man games are pretty far away off as well, if not, yeah. But it just looks a good return to Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, think of what Insomniac would have learnt from doing Sunset Overdrive. Think of applying those kind of controls for a Spider-Man game. Like, come on.
I love the Sunset Overdrive controls.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird how, Insomniac can just go from one exclusive to the other, can't they?
It's bullshit. Just make it for both consoles.
Yeah. I was actually thinking, like, maybe we'll see a Sunset Overdrive sequel. Because it had been kind of enough time, but...
But no, this is what they've been doing, Spider-Man.
God.
Yeah, we've been sort of hanging out for a good Spider-Man game. We used to love them when we were younger.
Spider-Man 2? Incredible
We've
game.
got that coming up for NOS Shuffle someday.
I could talk about that for ages.
Well, an extended NOS Shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Sony. Awesome
yeah,
conference.
Yeah, they finished on Days Gone. But this was the best. I was
Yeah.
so pleased at the end of this.
Number one conference.
And I think you said this before, but you know, when you go and watch the Sony press conference, you're always a bit like, I'll watch it, but you know, I'm not going to be. You can't get too invested in it.
Yeah,
because-
like I actually don't want to like it. I don't want them to have good games on there because that'll make me want to buy a PlayStation, and I'll be disappointed because I know I can't.
Yeah.
I know I'm never going to buy a PlayStation because NX is coming out, and I know I actually want that because I don't have a Nintendo console, so.
Well, this to me makes me want to go trade my Xbox in right now.
Do you think you made the wrong choice?
I'm sorry, but I've always hated, like, I've always been on the Xbox side. I always have my whole life. And I've hated PlayStation, but I don't know.
When I made because I had a PS3, when I made my decision to buy an Xbox One, I was tossing up between whether I wanted Naughty Dog games or Halo games. And I kind of really don't even like Halo anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I love the original two Halos. It was like, I'm so glad I actually have them to play. But yeah, like how did you see? I want to play Uncharted 4. I want to.
Yeah.
So.
And like, I mean, and I've said this before. Where, what's that game called? Until Dawn. Like,
I want to play that as well.
yeah, but and I've watched that game with like 3 whole playthroughs now because I kept thinking like, I'll never play this game. I'm never going to play PlayStation.
Yeah.
Am I going to do the same for Spider-Man, for Detroit,
I know.
for Death Stranding? I don't know.
See, the problem is, if I wanted to trade in my Xbox and all my games, pretty much 70% of my games are downloaded.
Oh, I know.
So I don't get a lot of money there.
That's a shame, hey. What do they do do you have to wipe your hard drive when you trade it in?
I don't know.
Would they do it?
Well, no, it's all connected to your account. So if you
Oh.
sign out, it won't be on there.
That's true, actually, yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. So game of Sony. I think we both agree.
Detroit.
Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So what's your game then?
Yeah, Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. It's such a good game.
That was great.
So let's move on to our final piece of E3. The final piece of the puzzle. Nintendo.
Oh, waited so long for this.
Yeah. This is always at the end of E3, which is cool because it's always the best thing to look forward to. My one hope for Nintendo's Treehouse was, please, just announce something new. And they did, but we'll get into that. I've got a list here. It's in order of what they sort of announced. The first thing on my list is Zelda, so let's talk some Zelda. Breath of the Wild. Feels so good to say it.
Yeah, it's got a title now, huh?
And can I just tell you that the title is perfect. It's so fitting to that game because it is just sort of, you're in the wild and
Yeah.
you know, you're living and breathing what this thing is. You know?
Yeah,
It's just...
It seems like this game is going back to the roots of Zelda, which is exploration. And that's where I have the most fun in Zelda games.
Yeah.
And people can't argue with that. So, my most fun, like going back to my first playthrough of Twilight Princess, the most fun I had was, exploring that world of and trying to figure out what to do to progress the game, kind of thing. But this is taking exploration to the next well-deserved level.
Yeah.
You know,
I honestly didn't watch too much gameplay of it.
neither actually.
Oh, I thought you were gonna sit down and watch the whole stream.
Well, I started to, and then I got about maybe 30 minutes into it because it's like an 8-hour stream or something, and I thought, you know what, I just decided I'd seen enough. I'd seen a trailer. I'd seen little 1-2 minute videos
because you don't sort of want to give things away. You
Yeah.
know? You want to experience and find out things for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly why I sort of didn't want to watch too much of it. But from everything I've heard, I'm pretty sure that gameplay demo and what people were allowed to play, they took out all the NPCs, all the quests and everything. So you were literally just exploring the wild. And that was enough for people. So, I mean, add in all those NPCs and quests and everything, and then you've got the whole other side to the game. But this was enough for them. You were only allowed to explore this one certain area as well. And from what I saw, I mean, you're going to have to cook your own food, catch your own food, so hunting, find your own wood to cut up to start your fire, everything, you know, like everything. You have to do everything. The only problem I have with the game is, well, the day-night cycle is still very fast. It's the same as The Sims. So a 24-hour day is 24 minutes. You know, instead of the minutes counting up in seconds, it jumps 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So it'll wait 5 seconds and then it'll go 2:45, then waits 5 seconds, 2:50,
Yeah.
2:55. So it jumps like that, but it's still 1 second for every minute. And I think it's a little too fast.
Again, that could just be a demo thing.
Yeah.
Because people are with the demo for such a limited time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they want to showcase that day-night cycle.
I guess so.
So,
Another thing that I heard, not saw because I didn't see much, but I heard like little things, like if you're sort of walking around and it's, you know, sunlight, it's middle of the day, all of a sudden it gets dark for 5 seconds and then it gets bright again just because the clouds passed over the sun.
oh, cool.
The weather changes, you know, rainy, whatever, and all that stuff. So, you know, it's just, the title is perfect. From what we saw, it's just, you know, you're in the wild and you're sort of, you know, discovering things on your own.
Yes.
So,
and that's what they kind of, I guess that's, I don't know if we predicted or that's what everything's kind of been alluding to.
Yeah.
In the build up to Zelda where, it just seems like, it's even in a few interviews where I've read with Al Numa and Shigeru Miyamoto, they said they want to inspire the spirit of the very first Legend of Zelda again, where literally in that first Zelda game, you're just chucked into the world and you have to find everything yourself. The very first dungeon you come across in the game is behind a hidden wall which you have to bomb. There's no indication that the dungeon's behind that wall.
Yeah.
You had to do it yourself. And where I would find that entirely frustrating, because that game is so very old, incorporating that spirit and that ideology, that idea into this new world.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does look cool. And I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to get it on an NX whenever that comes out. A few things more that I want to talk about is there's talk of what the NX would probably be because of this game. So Link has this Sheikah stone or whatever, or this Sheikah tablet, so he pulls that all the time or whatever. People are thinking that's sort of like an NX controller. That when you pull that out, Link has that as well.
Okay.
So this Sheikah, I think it's the Sheikah Slate is what it's called. So people are thinking that maybe this resembles the NX controller. So when this actually comes out, this is what you'll have, and Link has the same thing in the game. And because it's sort of like a tablet, like an iPad kind of thing, that could be the handheld thing, sort of, I don't know. Do you reckon that's...
I haven't heard anything about that, so I don't know. Yeah, it could be a little sneaky hint into what NX is.
Yeah.
I don't want to comment on that, really.
Comment on it, bitch.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll just wait and see. Yeah, whatever.
We have no idea what the story of this game is because the whole thing was just about exploration. So we've got no idea about the story still. At least they gave us the title, and they showed us lots of gameplay. So yeah, the trailer was really cool as well. I really liked the trailer.
Yeah, it was great. What about the graphics? What do you think of the?
Yeah, not bad. It's pretty good. It's still in that middle. It's not very realistic or anything. It's more cartoony, but it's in that middle ground between the cartoon world and the more realism.
Yeah. Personally, I do prefer the realistic approach to Zelda. I do like both, but the Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time art style is what I do prefer. But it's cool how they're going for they're just elaborating on what Skyward Sword did in terms of art style. But the whole thing just looks like a big watercolor painting. It looks unreal.
Yeah. So some notable changes in the game as well. There's a jump button, so you can jump this time, which is really good. They needed that. There's a stamina meter.
That was in Skyward Sword.
Oh, was it? Okay. So why are people going on about how this stamina meter is?
Because they're dumb.
It's weird. Any other changes that they've had that you can think of?
Well, yeah, like you said, dynamic weather forces you to change your clothes.
Oh, yeah. And also maybe start a fire to keep warm.
Yeah. And I've seen a few GIFs and stuff of this, but it's just people have said the little touches make this game great. Like when Link is in the cold winter area of the game, when he kicks open a chest, he jumps and grabs his foot because it's so cold.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, this
how old is Link in this one?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's not a kid, is he?
He looks like young adult.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Again, that all ties into the story, which we have no idea about. We don't know where this game fits into the timeline. Because nothing else was shown. No other enemies were shown, but no other characters were shown. There were voices, though.
This is something that I never saw, so I never got to have an answer. So there were voices.
There were voices in the trailer, weren't there?
I honestly didn't really pay attention. I was so sort of overwhelmed seeing Zelda gameplay that I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
Yeah, there were voices. It seemed like Zelda had a voice. It's
Link or Zelda?
Zelda.
Yeah, okay.
A voice over.
Yeah.
It sounded like a woman's voice. That's about it. It was a British accent, which Nintendo typically goes for when they're translating for English.
Better than American.
I think so, yeah. So, that's a first. But again, in interviews after this E3 stuff, it's come out that there'll be more voices, but Link will be typically silent again.
Which is good.
I think that's a good step. Yeah. I don't know. There's just so much gameplay out there that and a really cool thing I've found out is Amiibo does work with it. So the Wolf Link Amiibo that you got in Twilight Princess works in this, and they've come out that said, you know how in our predictions that we said will Link have a companion with him, like a Navi or a thing. He won't in this. He'll be solo.
That's good.
I think that's pretty good.
It goes with the whole thing. He is exploring this on his own, exploring the wild. Yeah.
You can, however, put in like a temporary companion with the Wolflink amiibo.
Yeah.
You buzz him in, and he comes in like through the twilight, which is really cool. And he come around and attacks and hunts for you, and I don't know. I think that's a really cool, clever touch. And again, like I don't know how that works into the timeline though. I don't know if that's Zelda canon, I guess. Because how was Link there and how was he there?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Someone will draw up a timeline and
Yeah.
it'll make sense.
So overall, I can't believe how excited I am for this.
Yeah, yeah.
It ticked all the boxes for me. I didn't find one thing I was disappointed with this. And I think the funniest thing is that, and I told you about this the next day or something, that every single person talking about E3 was complaining about how Nintendo weren't going to have anything. How they were like, oh, they'll show Zelda, but yeah, it won't be exciting. Every single person backtracked on their statement on Twitter and stuff like, yeah, Zelda's the best thing ever. Nintendo should always just focus on one games because they're direct for. I'm
Yeah.
like, shut up.
Yeah. I mean, next year they could have a new Mario, which they can do the same thing. Make it a big Mario thing,
I actually love this approach they do.
I would still prefer the Direct because, I mean, for that two whole days, I was continually checking what have they announced, whereas you could just watch a 40-minute Direct and get all your announcements there.
Sure.
I still prefer that.
Sure. Yeah, but like you said, if they've got these flagship kind of games like a Zelda, like a Mario, they can just regurgitate this kind of massive gameplay out, and I think it works for this Zelda game because we've been waiting 3 years for it. So to give us,
I think people have been waiting since the Wii U demo when they saw that Zelda gameplay.
Yeah. So it's very good to have an official Zelda out there.
Yeah. So that's coming. Okay, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now, we haven't really talked about the Battle Royale or anything, have we?
No, we haven't talked about no.
No, so... Okay, so one little problem I have with this is they spelt it wrong. It's Battle Royal.
No.
They didn't have the E on the end, which is supposed to be Battle Royale, but it's Battle Royal, so it's really annoying whenever that comes up. But anyway, that's really cool. It's a really cool thing to have. Again, though, this is annoying because in this Battle Royal, there's 4 players, right? When the first player runs out of Pokemon, when the first player dies, the battle ends.
Oh.
So it doesn't continue until there's only one victor. The battle ends. That's it. When the first player dies.
That's boring.
And then it goes on. The health of the Pokemon or something. So that's where strategy comes in. You've got to protect your Pokemon the most. So
it's more of a defensive game then.
Kind of, yeah. So just get rid of one Pokemon. That's the end of the game. I really don't like that. I'd rather just an all-out battle until one person's left standing.
Well, if you say that, it seems like a game type for the real hardcore Pokemon people.
Yeah.
Rather than us, the ones who actually delve into the strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It seemed like a really cool mode to introduce.
Did you see any gameplay?
Or just from whatever they showed.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool how they've made the art style a lot more realistic. So the character is much taller, and he's in line with he. If he's standing next to a Pokemon, that's sort of the real size.
There's like scale to it.
Yeah,
now.
scale. That's what I'm looking for. And did you see the house that you live in with your mum?
I can't remember it.
It's a massive house because it's all to scale. It's not some mini little thing. So when you walk out of your house, that's what it's like. It's actually to scale. So you know how like sometimes inside your house is huge and you walk out and it's just this small little thing.
Yeah.
Like it's to scale now. It's awesome. And then you're running up, and I saw the first Pokemon fight where you're walking through some long grass, and it all looks really good. So just more Pokemon. Really excited.
Yeah, one thing I'll say, I think the graphics look better, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought there was a step up in graphics.
It's a different graphic style, I think. It's not the same.
No. I guess the color, like the tropical vibe of the really comes through.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. And one thing, I'm not sure if it had already been announced in the trailers or not, but your trainer actually stands behind your Pokemon.
Yeah, that was sort of talked about a while ago as well.
Okay, but yeah, well, that's a cool little thing.
Yeah.
And two or three new Pokemon were announced.
Yeah.
So a bird,
that little ferret thing with the weird teeth.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
And
young goose or something.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, a bird, the ferret thing, and I want to say maybe like another dog kind of stuff. I can't remember.
That bird, I think that was the bird from the original reveal of Pokemon Sun and Moon.
The frame wire thing.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, yeah, it's cool to have a few more details now, and it's not too far away actually.
Yeah. So this next game was sort of the only game I didn't watch any gameplay of, and that was Paper Mario Color Splash.
I didn't know, did they actually play it on the Treehouse?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't watch anything from it though.
Neither.
Yeah, so nothing really to talk about then, is there?
Well, there was another trailer with it. Did you watch the trailer?
No, I didn't watch anything.
Okay, well, there's a trailer.
It might have just been the trailer then.
Okay, so I at least watched a trailer, and I am confused at what this game actually is. But it seems like it does seem like a kind of return to original Paper Mario, I guess you could call it, where it seems like you do have more of a open world to explore, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So where is it set? Where are you?
No idea.
Yeah.
The combat and what you actually do in the world is so confusing to me. The messaging is really mixed up, and people are angry again because it's not a Paper Mario Thousand Year Door kind of game. But I don't know why you should be expecting another game like that. Paper Mario games have always, after the Thousand Year Door, have always changed up the style, and they've always been like a really different variety each kind of game.
Yeah.
So why are people expecting them to go back to traditional roots? This is what frustrates me about quote unquote Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
People just want the old, and when they get the old, they don't like it.
Just settle down, hey.
Okay.
Just calm down.
Either way, I'm a bit confused about this game, but it looks just so it looks so colourful and
I know,
good.
it looks so good.
I'll just buy it just because how great it looks.
Yeah, just keep it on, I don't know, just pause or something. Just have it as have it on there when people come over. Okay, so this next one was a prediction that I made. Box Boy 2 coming over, localizing, called Box Boy. So I think the Japan title was Box Boy Another Box.
Yeah.
So this is Box Boy.
It's pretty cool.
Great way to name a sequel. Yeah, this is a game that I don't think I'll get. I got the original Box Boy and played a good 3-4 hours of it, and I think that was all I needed.
Okay.
You know, I only stopped because it was really hard. I can't get past the bit I'm at, so that's the only reason I stopped. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think there's actually some colour in this game.
Wow.
So the first one didn't have any colour, but this one looks like it does. So
big step up.
Yeah.
I wonder what people will be expecting them to go back to their roots in a couple of years' time. Remember the original Box Boy? Yeah, let's go back to that.
The original Box Boy.
Shut up, Nintendo people.
Okay. Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix.
Oh, I'm so excited for this.
Did you watch gameplay?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was like practicing. I was like tapping along.
Were you going with it? Yeah.
Well, I was like tapping along to see when I needed to press the buttons to sort of test myself whether I'd be good enough. And I don't know, that girl who was playing it was so good. Hey.
Yeah.
Like she was amazing.
Yeah. So I watched that, and I also watched another gameplay from Game Explain, and whoever was playing that sucked.
Oh, okay.
He sucked at it. But
yeah. It seems like you'd have to play these little mini games quite a few times to actually get into it. Otherwise, you're not really. You can't do it first go, unless you don't know what it is.
I think it's just build they're giving you little sections that's building you into it, because I know I've seen how difficult these games can get.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's just progressing you up.
The beats are so cool though.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so keen for this game. Unfortunately,
this is already out.
It's out in America. It came out
not for us.
It came out that day. For Europe, it comes out towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
So why did they do that?
I don't know.
At least
I want a physical release though.
We're getting one.
We are.
Europe's getting a physical. I was just about to say
Sweet,
Europe's getting a
yes.
physical. America just gets the digital.
That is awesome.
So I guess that's why we have to wait for the physical.
Don't mind then. Don't
Okay.
mind.
Cool.
Because I think it's a game I'll get.
Yeah,
So-
I'm absolutely.
Is it a full price game?
It's probably a $50 for us, maybe.
Okay, so let's move on to Yokai Watch 2. So there are two versions to this game, Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls. Have no idea about the differences between these two. So the one that I'm going to get is just based on which cover I like the best, and that was sort of the darker one, the black cover.
Okay.
Because the first cover was white, so this is contrast black, so I don't know, looks cool. And I don't know, it's so hard to get into Yokai Watch. Like, I've played, I think, I don't know how long I've played. I'm a fair way through it. It's just, I'm up to a bit where I need to grind to level up some of my yokai. And it's actually so hard to find yokai to actually level up with, to battle all the time, you know?
Oh.
You're spending so long trying to find the yokai to battle, to grind, and then the experience that you get is very, very minimal. So that's why it's really frustrating to play at the moment. But in this Yokai Watch 2, the gameplay that we saw seems like not much has changed. It sort of seems like it's really similar. I mean, the map's probably a little different, but that's it.
Isn't this
Probably
set in
different
America?
No, the Yokai Watch 3 is set in America.
Right.
So that'll be very different, and that's actually still not out in Japan as well. So
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm still a bit mediocre towards Yokai Watch. I still think it. I've watched some of the anime as well. I just the whole time I'm just screaming like, "What is going on?"
Well, have you watched it from the beginning?
No, just a random episode. Still, like it's a kids cartoon.
Yeah,
you
I
can
know.
pick it up wherever.
Should be
you
like
should.
Pokemon. You know, pick it up and just start watching. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So
All right. Let's move on to Pokemon Go. This is. I'm not gonna get this.
it's a bit expensive, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure just the normal Pokemon Go app is free, isn't it?
Oh shit!
I don't know, but there's this Pokemon Go Plus thing.
Yeah, that little device.
that
thing.
costs
like $40 or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. I don't know. I think no matter what the prices are, I think I'll give it a shot. Yeah, I don't know.
Where would you take it? Like, I'm only gonna if I get it, I'll probably have it in my house, in my backyard. I'm not taking it outside.
No way.
Playing with it outside or something. You know,
No
it's just
way.
like, yeah, it's a bit ridiculous.
Do you?
It's funny. The only demo they could show is just on the show floor. Like,
Yeah.
they showed pictures of them catching
Yeah.
Pokemon elsewhere, but
Do you actually have to, like, when you do it, like, do you actually have to move your phone around with it, like, do the actions, or or is it just based on camera? If you got the camera
I
set
don't
up,
know.
you just
Hey.
touch.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's you just hold it still and you've got to line it up and then throw it. But that's all I know.
Okay,
So-
well, whatever.
Apparently, there's an update that will come in eventually where you can battle the Pokemon, but right now it's just collecting. So
All right, well, sweet.
I'd rather just stick with Sun and Moon. You know, those Pokemon games. They don't need an extra thing.
It's cool that they're doing something else, but yeah, whatever. It's Pokemon, so it will sell. Who cares?
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Monster Hunter Generations. Did you watch any gameplay of this? I think there was only a really little sort of snippet of gameplay.
This is day
of this.
2 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw nothing from day 2.
Okay.
Only trailers, no gameplay.
I mean, this bit's all a bit mixed up now, so I don't know if
Well,
it's
day
day 1 or day 2.
Day 1 was only Zelda and Pokemon, so.
Oh, right, so this is day 2 then. Yeah, Monster Hunter Generations. Yeah, it just looks like more Monster Hunter. The graphics do look better,
Yeah.
and it's a game that I'm not going to get just because it's more Monster. Yeah, actually, I did think about just getting this because maybe we could play co-op.
I won't.
Well, you won't get it anyway, so.
I know Monster Hunter fans, and they are so excited for this. So.
Yeah.
Only because Monster Hunter fans are so trapped by Monster Hunter, they have to play every game that comes out.
Yeah,
And they have to sink 300 plus hours into it, so.
I can't even imagine playing a game for 300 plus hours. Like, it's understandable for a game like Animal Crossing because you pick it up like maybe 20 minutes a day and that'll eventually get there. But like, man, for a game that, you know, oh God. Well, like Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, that came out like, what, last year?
No way, like 2 years ago,
Oh,
probably?
2 years ago, all right.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. So the next game was Tokyo Mirage Sessions
Sharp.
Sharp, that's right. Sharp FE.
Everyone's calling hashtag FE.
Yeah, hashtag FE. No, Sharp FE. Yeah, and so finally, sort of a lot of this game was cleared up for me. I sort of understand what's going on in this game now, and still looks pretty cool.
Okay.
Did you watch any gameplay from this?
I haven't, but I'm still going to buy it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
I think it comes out this weekend for us. Or next weekend.
Oh, really? That soon?
Pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it does look pretty cool. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say. It just looks cool.
Looks cool.
It does look like I mean, I heard there were people playing it, and I heard they were saying you could spend hours playing this game. Like, it's a game that could take over 100 hours to finish.
Sure. Well,
So-
typically a Shin Megami Tensei game does take that long.
Yeah. So yeah, it is a full-on game. So for you to play, but it is weird because you know how we saw sort of gameplay clips of battles but they were on stage with people cheering and everything, and we're like, why are they always at this concert? Like, is this whole game take place at this concert? But no, it's just like you could be anywhere, but then when you get in a random encounter, you're just suddenly at this concert show.
Don't question it. Just go
with it. Just go with it. Okay, there's 2 games coming up where were my wow moments.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't think what. Yep.
Well, this game wasn't one of them. It was Dragon Quest 7. Did you watch any gameplay of this one?
I just watched another trailer, and
Yeah.
I don't know. The graphics aren't what I wanted from this, actually. I like the art style, like, because it's old mate. What's his name? Old mate from Dragon Ball Z drawings.
Oh, Akira Toriyama. Yeah.
Old mate Akira. So I like his art style, but the graphic style turned into a 3DS. It just isn't catching me. But it doesn't matter. I'm still going to buy it, so whatever.
Yeah. Because this game came out 3 years ago now in Japan. It looks like they've just translated it. They haven't done any updates for the graphics or anything. It's just translation.
Oh, did you see that photo? Someone took like a developer took a photo of like a wall covered bookcase of like these big folders of all the like the script of the game.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is what I had to translate or something.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Well, one person had to do that.
Oh, like a team. But like,
yeah. God.
I can't.
Do you know, I heard a story today that the only reason that this game was localized like this, they had no intentions of localizing this game, but there was a few fans in France who was doing petitions and everything and just hassling the Square Enix dudes to localize this game. They just finally gave in. That's the only reason why it's coming over here.
Oh, so it actually works then?
Well,
Hassling
yeah.
developers.
And that's apparently what they said on the show when they were playing the game. And I was like,
Where's Mother 3 then?
why would you say that? Because now there's just going to be massive loads of petitions and all that.
Yeah.
But this was Square Enix. It wasn't Nintendo.
Sure.
It wasn't Nintendo's doing it, Square Enix. So
Okay.
yeah, but what I was saying before, it is a 3-year-old game. Well, it's a really old game, but it's a 3-year-old remake.
Okay.
So yeah, we are getting it very late, and it's it looks kind of dated. So, especially with that text coming up, and then every word that comes up, it's got that.
You'll be able to turn that off.
Hopefully, because I hate that. I hate it. Gosh, we got to turn a light on. Hey,
Or almost done.
it is getting dark.
All right, I get it.
I'm having trouble seeing you. I'm starting to squint here.
All right.
Oh, that's better. That's better. All right. Yeah, we're almost done. There are actually 2 more games, and these are my 2 WoW games. Okay, the first game it's actually not a WoW moment for me, right? When it got announced, I was, wow. I was like, yes. This was Mario Party Star Rush.
Oh.
So the announcement of this, I was incredibly excited for, because, I mean, this was the last thing I ever expected.
Yeah.
We already have a Mario Party game on the 3DS, and I knew when I bought that back in 2012, I knew that there's going to be no other Mario Party game on the 3DS. This is the only one. And when I played it, I was severely disappointed because it's just a shitty game. And now there's a new one, and I was so just crossing my fingers hoping, because this got announced on day 1, and they were planning to show it on day 2.
Yeah.
I was just crossing my fingers hoping that it would be like the original Mario Parties, and it's not. Again, it's something different. So, but at least it's not something like any other Mario Parties, which everyone has complained about. It's something different again, but why not just go back to the originals?
That's the argument I just made before with Paper Mario. Like, not everything has to go back to the originals.
but they're the most loved Mario Party games of all time.
At least they're changing it up again, and this
Okay,
one
well-
actually looks.
At least give us an option to do like classic mode.
Yeah.
There are people out here talking about like this is perfect for 3DS owners for handheld because everybody moves at once. You're always doing something. It's so fast paced and everything. Nobody wants to sit there for 2 hours and play a whole huge Mario Party match. I do. I'd sit there for 3 hours and play a 50-turn match by myself. I don't care. That'd be awesome.
Wow.
But yeah, this is just, I don't know, more fast paced Mario Party matches, and it's just, I don't know. I think it's a game that usually when games sort of get announced, I write them down and like that's a game confirmed. I'm getting it no matter what. But I'm going to watch gameplay of this and decide when it comes out. I'm not going to get it straight away.
I mean, I'm actually more interested in it than the other Mario Party, Island Tour, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because
Well, Island Tour sucked because it was just all luck based.
yeah,
And it was the way that game worked is the first two go to the end of the map, you win. You know, it's just crap.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm actually just keen for Mario Party. It's been a while since I played one, so
Mario Party 10, were you?
no, that looks awful.
It does look awful.
All right, well, what's the other game? I can't even.
One game left on the list, and
Can't
this
even
was
think of it.
yes, this was another one. And the other reason is like it's not a fantastic game. It's a good game, but it's a new IP for the 3DS.
Yeah,
And this is what I wanted: something new on the 3DS, something unannounced, a surprise, and it's Ever Oasis.
Yeah.
And this game, it really reminded me of Fantasy Life, which nothing wrong with that. Fantasy Life is a good game, and it's you're just literally you've got your own oasis, and then you can go out into the desert and explore. You got like lots of caves and dungeons to explore as well. You take people with you. It seems like when you take people with you to explore sort of a cave or a dungeon, they've all got their special abilities to help you sort of solve these puzzles to get around. But if you don't have the right person with you, you've got to go back and get that person and all that. So it seems pretty interesting like that. That's the way it differs from Fantasy Life. But the way it's the same is you're pretty much exploring, you're doing your whole battle thing, but then you can go back to your home and sort of, build up your oasis. It's like a management kind of thing as well. You're sort of building your city kind of thing. So
Sounds like a Scott kind of game.
I don't know. It's right up my alley.
Yeah. Yeah, when they kept hyping up like brand new IP announced at tomorrow, brand new Nintendo IP, I'm like, oh, all right, must be all right. So when I found out it was this, unlike you, I didn't say yes. I was like,
Well, I wasn't like ecstatic, like I wasn't over the moon, like, but I wasn't disappointed. Like this is a good, decent game.
Yeah.
That got announced, and that's all I wanted.
Okay.
Something new for the Nintendo 3DS, a new IP, and I got it. So
Yeah.
I was really happy.
Yeah. I guess well, because that's the end of it. That's the end of Nintendo. I guess the one thing that people were saying like no, there's going to be no Nintendo announcements. It's just going to be Zelda. It's just going to be Zelda. But like you said there were like 3 announcements.
Yeah, Mario Party, Ever Oasis,
Box Boy.
and Box Boy. Yeah, and we knew about the rest.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, not bad.
Pretty decent. Not Sony.
Yeah.
Nintendo were my second favorite overall. So
Just yeah. So your game of Nintendo.
Zelda.
I said you'd be surprised with my choice, and I'm gonna have to go with Ever Oasis, just because it's something new, and I like the look of it. So I'm gonna have to go with Ever Oasis.
Jeez, but look how good Zelda is.
I know, but you know me, I've never been a fan of Zelda.
Yeah.
It's never sort of caught my eye. Like this Zelda looks really good just because it's more westernized, like it's more like the open world RPGs, which is why I'm probably definitely going to get it. But it's just never sort of been something that I've loved. So
Sure.
yeah, so that's where we differ in that. So Jake, for the last bit of our show, we need to decide on the 411 folks E3 game of 2016.
Well, there was only one game we did agree on.
Actually, we both agreed on Watch Dogs 2.
Oh, no, it's gonna be Resident Evil.
It's got to be Resident Evil. That's the only game we agreed on where we weren't forced to make a decision.
Yeah.
Ubisoft, we had to say something, so we just decided Watch Dogs 2. So.
But yeah, so Resident Evil unanimously. So
Wow. I really thought, like, on the way home, driving home, and thinking I was going to say Resident Evil, I thought I was going to have an argument on my hands.
Oh, I mean, just to save the argument, just to save having an argument, I guess.
I literally thought I was going to have to settle on Zelda. I thought you were just going to be adamant. No, I can't say anything but Zelda.
No, like, it's the fact that I was surprised by Resident Evil.
Yeah, yeah.
The surprise just ups it like that.
I guess it's sort of got to be a game that, yeah, surprise, you can't stop thinking about it, you know you're still going to get it, and you want to see more. With Zelda, we've seen enough. We don't really want to see more. With Resident Evil, I think we both really just want to see more, don't we? Like,
yes, no, yeah, you're right.
So it's got to be, the 411, folks, game of E3 2016 is Resident Evil 7.
We should tell the developers. It's such a highly prestigious award.
Yeah, well, don't like usually companies like, I think they hand them the award or something.
Yeah, IGN and stuff like
yeah.
that. Like, woo.
You know, you want to email them or something. With
Sure.
We don't even have an email for the 411 folks, but
I'll use my personal one. They'll know me by name.
Is that are you being serious? So, yeah, that concludes our show. That's wow. I'm actually really tired. That was 2 shows in 2 days.
Lots of talking.
I'm actually glad we didn't do that a 3-hour show. I would have been stuffed.
Yeah, I mean, I could spend a bit more talking about Zelda, but like you said, like...
Well, we did have a whole show about Zelda last week. What we wanted from Zelda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so... Yeah, I got nothing more to say.
Well, we'll be back next week, hopefully, with our normal show. Not about E3, but there's a lot of things to talk about, all these games. So, yeah, until then, we'll see you then.
See ya.